You're listening to Underestimated, the podcast that helps overwhelmed small business owners turn their size into their unfair advantage so they can grow without burning out. Now here's your host, Shauna Suko.
Hi everyone, it's Shauna, and I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I have now 20 episodes behind me in the rearview mirror, which is something that I put off starting a podcast forever because I didn't think I could stick to it, and I've proven myself wrong. So thank you for being here for this journey that I'm on. And I have a small ask. I want to reach as many small businesses as possible. This is not an ego project for me. I would love it if I had more than 2 reviews on any of the major platforms. So could you please help me reach more small business owners? Help me get found on those platforms by leaving a review. If this is not your first episode of Underestimated, you've heard another one, and if you liked it, please take a quick moment, put me on pause, and just leave a review, even if it's only 2 words. Great podcast or something like that. I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do you ever take full advantage of the different holidays that come around throughout the year to engage your customers and prospects through your marketing efforts? Well, if you do, but you think you could do better, or if you've never really thought about doing this before, this is the show for you. I am going to dive in today into the unique, weird, wacky ways that I take full advantage of holidays, both traditional and random, to start a conversation with my customers, my clients, my prospects, my followers, whoever happens to be visiting my social media or listening to this podcast. I'm always mentioning weird holidays. If you've listened to more than a few of my episodes, I'm sure you've heard about them. So let's go ahead and get started. Since this episode is coming out on a holiday, I wanted to start by saying every single day of the calendar, every single day of the year has a random holiday, probably a dozen or more, actually. If you go and look, every day has a dozen or more random holidays that day represents. And so you don't have to wait for Christmas or Valentine's Day or 4th of July. You don't have to wait for those opportunities to tie in something with your marketing. What you do have to do, though, is figure out which holidays you want to observe and which ones make sense for you, which ones you can really get behind, because I know you have a limited amount of time and energy, etc. But what I want to talk to you about is not following the traditional playbook for every holiday promotion ever, which goes like this. August is back to school month. Save 10% on your back to school supplies. Or Labor Day is a family fun holiday. Get those hot dogs and corn on the cob while you still can, blah, 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 blah. Boring, right? Every single competitor out there in any particular space, whether it's food or whether it's anything, is tying in to the big holidays. And they're also more than likely tying in a boring, predictable way. So you being a small business owner, you have to do something different in order to capture that attention. So don't save all your efforts for those major holidays because you'll get drowned out unless you do something really different. Pick these random ones where people are going to go, oh, and it will be memorable. So much of what I talk about is standing out, building trust, and being memorable. And these weird holidays definitely stand out and they're definitely memorable. And if you use them right, they will also build trust. So let me give you some examples. So 4th of July is one example. It's America's 250th anniversary. Well, instead of the typical happy birthday, America, and you just put up some meme that says happy 4th of July, or you have a sale for 4th of July weekend or whatnot, how about capturing people's attention in a different way by saying, sharing maybe a list of your own 250s, and these can be fun. They don't have to be accurate. You can say, go around to each of your employees or ask your customers, get one of those little tiny mics. They're $20. I love the tiny mic. and say, if you could have 250 of something today, what would it be? And just get all those answers, put them into an easy clip. You can play that anytime in July. Okay, so that's just one. Or you can, if you want to do like a giveaway or you want to do a discount, ask your customers to come in wearing red, white, and blue, and then they get the blah, blah, blah. That way you know exactly which marketing is working because they will mention it. And if they do something like that, always, always get a picture. If they do come in doing that, ask them if you can put them on your wall, on your social media wall, or on your literal wall. And if you don't have a brick and mortar business, ask customers to upload a picture of themselves or anybody wearing red, white, and blue, and then they get the discount. Don't just say, hey, anybody who, comes through the doors gets a discount because of 4th of July. There's no real memorable thing to go with that. See what I'm getting at? So looking beyond those major holidays, I wanted to give you 3 that are July and 3 for August. And I just asked ChatGPT to give me 6, and then I narrowed them down to 3 that I liked. You can easily do the same thing. And I'm not saying do one for every single day of the month. That is, if you are that overachiever, I give you a virtual gold star. But for the rest of us, here are 3 examples. July 5th, National Workaholics Day. Easy tie in. You can celebrate your hardworking team, or you can share productivity tips. You can ask for productivity tips. You can ask your customers or your followers on social media to nominate somebody who's a really hard worker, an unsung hero who's a really hard worker in your community or with a nonprofit or whatnot, and shine the spotlight outward rather than always inward. July 10th. If you've listened to more than one of my episodes, you know I'm all about dogs, but this is for the cat people. July 10th is National Kitten Day. And this is, for some reason, half of the population, not even half, a portion of the population out there really likes cats. I have a friend who has 4 cats. Sometimes she has 5 cats. She volunteers at a cat shelter. So people, for some reason, like cats. I don't know, but ask them to submit a picture, or if somebody on your team is thinking about getting a cat, ask for suggestions for names, or spotlight a shelter and work with a shelter on something, some sort of collaboration. And it doesn't just have to be one day of the month. It can be an entire month. August, for example, while I'm on the subject of dogs, August is National Dog Month. See, kittens only get a day. Dogs deserve a whole month. So for that whole month, you can do tie-ins all month long. And it doesn't have to be, again, just, come in and mention this ad for 10% off. It can be so much more fun than that. So brainstorm with your team or with a friend or with AI and figure out what unique tie-ins that you can do, what unique collaborations, unique trivia, unique ways, like, for example, National Puzzle Day. I don't know when it is, but I'm sure it's out there. If you're like a CPA, you could say something like, taxes are just puzzles that a good CPA can help you put together. So it can be clever. You can do a trivia thing. You can do a fun dad joke about it. You can ask people to vote on something. What's your favorite dog breed? Have them vote. You can have them tell stories. Tell us a story about your first dog. Or again, ask your customers, tiny mic time. Tell us about your first pet. Tell us about, do you have a pet now? Tell us about them. What are 3 weird things that your pet does? Or what are 3 adorable things that your pet does? Have them nominate their favorite dog around town, have a fun contest. Again, we're trying to think of different ways that will stand out so you're not in the big box competitors' space with millions of dollars to throw at a particular major holiday. You don't have that, so we have to be smarter. We have to be more clever. We have to do something different to stand out and to be truly unforgettable. Here's a fun one that happens August 13th. It is National Left-Handers Day. As a lefty, I can come up with a dozen things that I could tie into this holiday. In fact, Homer Simpson's neighbor is a left-handed person, and he owns the Leftorium. You could do a tie-in with Ned Flanders. You can ask people to nominate their favorite lefty for some sort of prize. It doesn't even have to be a real prize. Whenever I do a poll on my social media, sometimes I jazz things up and I have it stand out a little bit more by saying, hey, let me know once you've taken the poll or done the survey or done the thing, whatever it is, and I will give you a virtual prize or a virtual pet. And or a meme, I'll give you a meme as a thank you. People just love to be acknowledged. And so I will upload. I think your virtual pet should be a cockatiel. I think your virtual pet should be a gecko. And you just in response to their post about your thing, you are responding, you're recognizing them, and you're also raising the logarithm, because the more comments that you generate and the more comments that are on this post, the more it gets shared. So this is a win-win-win all the way around. National Beach Day is coming up August 30th. You can ask people to share their favorite beach memory, or if you could be teleported to a beach today, what beach would you go to and why? Or share your favorite beach photo, and anything to get people engaging with you. Even if they never engage, they are stopping and they're more likely to read it and associate you with this unique thing that you're doing. So don't be disappointed if you only get 3 people responding. Keep doing it. Give any new marketing thing 90 days at least before you go, well, that didn't work. I did this for a week and that was a waste of time. No, because there are always lurkers. Always. You always get those customers that come in and go, yeah, I loved your post about this, or, and they mentioned something they never engaged with on your social media, but they saw it. That's the type of thing that we're going for. So don't get discouraged. Now, whatever tie-ins you do, they don't have to be like a perfect connection. They can be close, like National Chocolate Day. Don't know when that is, but I have chocolate sitting right here that my coworker gave me. National Chocolate Day. What could a dentist do? Hey, enjoy that chocolate, but be sure and make your next appointment for that cleaning. You can do both, something like that. Unexpected holidays are always going to be more memorable than the crowded traditional ones. So look to those. And if you can't find a holiday that you like, create it. It doesn't have to be official. Nobody blesses every single random national holiday. Of course, the government does if it's a bank holiday, but other than that, make up your own. National, is it Bob? I think it's Bob. In Vail, Colorado, they used to have, maybe they still do, a National Bob Day. And it's a Bob festival, and people named Bob or Robert or Rob come from all over to this Bob festival. If I have it wrong, straighten me out, but I remember it's in Vail because I'm from Colorado. So National Whatever Day, Ugly Office Chair Day. Have people submit a picture of their ugly office chair, or Dirty Desk Day. Have people share a picture of their clutter. Anything like that. I hope I'm giving you some ideas, because participation is always going to beat promotion. And when you don't have money to always discount, you can still get that attention. You can still get PR too. We haven't even talked about PR. So if you want media coverage for something, you just need to give it a little bit more notice than the day of. You can say, hey, did you know that next month is National Dog Month? Here's what we're going to do. And send a press release. Send a press release about the shelter that you're partnering with, or the pet food company. Maybe you have a local pet boutique or a pet bakery, a groomer. Who can you collaborate with? And it can be more than one. This could be a whole network around town of non-competing businesses that would love the collaboration. They're also small business. And you can exchange marketing. You can tag each other in social media. You can put brochures in their store, or you can put posts on their website in exchange for their post on yours. Any ways that you can collaborate, those are going to raise your visibility more than just your followers, and they're going to get you their followers as well. So think about collaboration and send out those press releases when you have enough time to do that. ChatGPT can write that press release and can also tell you where to send them. Just ask it for a list of 10 media outlets in my area who would be interested in this. And trade magazines also, if you're part of a trade organization or your local chamber, those places are always looking for things to include in their newsletters. They're always looking for articles to write. So instead of the traditional thing that you just post, a happy Mother's Day, take it a step further and do the weird tie-in or the fun tie-in or the nostalgic tie-in. A couple of things that ChatGPT helped me come up with. Giveaways, a mini challenge, like take a picture with your dog at your favorite dog park this week and post it here, or a behind the scenes video. If you, this is perfect for the tiny mic. This is perfect for the 250s that I talked about for like 4th of July or any holiday that's coming up. Take that mic and your camera behind the scenes to your actual shop, your actual workers, your actual vendors, your actual customers in the front of the shop, and bring them into the fun. And real faces of real people, especially on video, carry huge, huge weight today. So much more than the boring, we hope you have a fun and safe Labor Day weekend. Blah, boring. So to wrap this all up, I just want to say that the best holiday marketing doesn't necessarily have to be directly about the holiday at all. It can be a fun tie-in. Just get a little bit creative. It doesn't have to be a direct tie-in. It can be anything you can think of that ties your company to this holiday or your customers or a product or your origin story as a company. Something about, like, if you're family owned, who started your company? What day did they start it? What month? Create your own holidays around those types of things. So thank you again. This is another episode of Underestimated. Thanks for tuning in. And I would love to hear about your next random holiday. Tag me on your social media channels, and I will amplify those posts to my followers as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to Underestimated, hosted by Shauna Suko. To connect with Shauna, go to thebuyerinsider.com.